Hey guys, Mr. Riz here. So we're going to continue with activity 112 here, and we're going to do part 3 today. So part 3 is all about concatenation of data. So we can go ahead and get this started. Now we have our app here, and so we make some changes. We probably will save some things as. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's save our project as, cancel. That's a new project, save, project as, and we're on P3. Okay. So when we messed with the accelerometer, it provided long float values, and float values are known as decimals. All right. To help the user make sense of those numbers, you can combine those numbers with strings, which are also known as text, that describe which axis the number represents in all of one label. This is called concatenation. Concatenation is joined together without changing separate items into one, in this case, within a single label. So it's going to be, we're going to take all these little pieces together. So we'll take a word and then that number and then another word and that number and a space, and we'll put them all together and link them up. Okay. Concatenation is also often associated with joining text strings together. So in App Inventor, you will find them in the join blocks under the text drawer. So what we're going to do here is go back to our code in our blocks. Move my noggin down here towards the bottom. And right now we have the set accelerometer text to, I have the YXL. I was just messing with it. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. And what we are going to be looking for is the join. So in the text tab, we're going to drag out a join, and we're going to click that in there. Using the blue mutator right here, what we're going to do is add 6 more inputs. So we click that little pop-up box on here, and we're going to drag strings in here, and we're going to get 6 of them total. So there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. We could add more if we want, or add less. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add 3 string text from the drawers, and we're going to replace each space with a blank there. So in our text, we're going to drag out this blank space here, and we're going to type in inside of this one here, we're going to type in y-axis or x-axis, colon, and then I'm going to put like 2 spaces at the end. Now I could go drag another one, but just a little trick here, I can right click on it and press duplicate. I'm going to skip a spot and make this the y-axis, and then duplicate that again and get the z-axis here. So what we're doing is we're building a sentence here. We're starting out with x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. That's all it says. Now we actually need to get that information. So we're going to get the information from our variables here in orange. And so after x-axis, I'm going to get the x accelerometer. Y-axis, I'm going to get this y accelerometer. And after the z-axis, I'll get the z accelerometer. All right, so what we're going to do now is to test this app. So we're going to see how well this works. So I'm going to take my tablet out, and I'm going to connect the AI Companion. If you guys are having some difficulties with the AI Companion app, please let me know. I have noticed that there is an issue with the newest updated version of it. And so it's actually better to go back to a previous version of the AI Companion app. And I can show you how to do that in the classroom. Okay, so this is very hard to see. I'm going to stop share and hopefully bring my camera up close enough. In fact, I'm going to turn off my virtual background. Uh-oh. Here we go. That was turning off too much right there. All right, choose virtual background. I'm going to turn this off. No, I don't want to delete this. I just don't want to have background. All right, so if you can kind of see here, you have a little string on the bottom. Will this zoom in? Probably not. But it should be kind of going pretty crazy. On the string, it should say x-axis and have some numbers. Now, if we leave this flat, the numbers are a little bit better. Y-axis and then z. Which, yep. Now my numbers are going pretty crazy. And then if we tilt, we can see the changes that start to happen. All right, this is a format of debugging that we've made, and this debugging here will help us determine the values that we're getting from the accelerometer. So once we know what kind of numbers we're getting from those tools and sensors, we can adjust our formula later to help us move the happy face. All right, so let's go back to screen sharing here. And let's continue with the next part. So we tested it out. The numbers are pretty crazy, a little bit crazier than what we need to see. All right, so next what we're going to do here is we're going to look in the math drawer, and we're going to look for a float number to become an integer. So in our math button here, we're going to look to see if there's any way we can make this better. So in your own words, think about, how do we convert a float to an integer? What do you call it in math when you take a decimal and you turn it into a whole number? I call it rounding. So we're going to drag this round out here. So what the round is going to do, and I'm going to duplicate this 3 times, is we're going to go ahead and click and add this on to the X accelerometer and the Y and the Z. So now when I refresh my tab, if I make the connection to it again, what we should see here is that we still have numbers that are on the screen. Stop sharing here. Trying to go up again. I still have numbers on the screen, but they're not crazy decimals now. So as I tilt, they're numbers that are easier to see, numbers that change. And test it out, make sure you tilt it one way, the Y's change, tilted the other way, just the X change. And then the Z is an up and down. So we got X, we got Y, and then Z is an up and down, but we really can't do anything with that. Alrighty, let's see what else we have to do on here, but I think we are kind of done. After adding the tablet, yeah, we messed around with it to move. All right, so what we're gonna do is save our project as, and so to end this, remember, go to My Projects, save, export a project.aia, and submit that in there. All right, so hope you guys are doing all right with 3. This really isn't a tough section, but next part is kind of difficult. So that's why we're spending time on this. All right, guys, have a great one. We'll see you next time.